NoisenewsUK here in Manchester at Saints Hollow with Summerlin on their headline tour to support the new album. How you doing, guys? Right?
Hey, what's up?
Yes, not too bad.
Good stuff. And how has the big headline tour been going so far?
It's been good. I mean, this is just a small one, getting us ready for the bigger ones later. But like, the shows have been good. Like Nottingham's been really good. London was good. You know, Doncaster was good. So hopefully carry on with that.
Good.
Good.
And have you mostly been playing stuff off the new record?
It's just the new record. We're only playing new record stuff.
And how the song's been going down live?
Really well.
Getting good receptions, yeah. Head nods more than anything. A lot of people doing the songs already, so sort of getting the odd, yeah, cool, and then that'll be about it. But again, it's nothing we can help. It's just our album needs to be out there a little bit longer, so get people to know the songs and stuff. But
it's been out a couple of weeks now, am I right?
Yeah.
Week and a half, 2 weeks.
What kind of feedback have you had
really
so far?
Good. Really
good.
Like, we were a bit worried at the beginning because we've gone for such a different kind of sound. It's kind of a rawer, like the edge and the punks, that kind of sound. Kind of Albini-esque in some respect. We didn't know whether people would get it or not. You know, going down some sort of different line that many people don't go down. So it's nice to sort of see people getting what we're doing and seeing it come through.
Yeah.
That's cool. The name of the record, You Can't Burn Out If You're Not on Fire. Where did it come from and why did you choose it?
It's a funny story, this. Like, it's so funny because everyone's kind of reads it, oh, that's a bit profound and pretentious. But the thing is it's
Jim Morrison?
No, apparently the quote comes from originally what a journalist said about Jim Morrison, but that's not why we used it. We used it because when I was in Sweden, when Pelle was mixing the record, Pelle Henricsson, he used it for every occasion. So it's like, dude, can I go to the toilet? Dude, you can't burn out if you're not on fire. Go to the toilet. It's like, cool, man. Yeah. So after him saying it about 50, 60 times while I was there,
kind of stuck.
Yeah, it stuck.
So you mentioned Pelle mixing the record. How did him mastering the album come about? He's worked with some big bands.
My favourite record of all time is The Shape of Punk to Come By Refuse. Like, that record changed my life. I remember where I was when I bought it. And when we after we'd been to all these other producers and kind of other studios, and we realised they just didn't get what we wanted. Like, we really like pop melodies, like, and great like soaring harmonies and stuff. But when producers heard that, they just assumed it was just pop. So then they'd put all the sparkles on it, all that sheen that you could only get. And we were like, no, we want it really raw and really dirty and heavy, but at the same time still super pop. So we decided to do that ourselves, and so we recorded it ourselves. And then I contacted our management and just said, look, there's this guy who did this record and I really would love to work with him. Like, love to work with him. Just send him the demos, see what he thinks, and, you know, just give us a shout. And he listened to the demos, loved them. Yeah, definitely wanted to do it. And then we finished the record after a month and flew over to him while he was mixing the record. It was pretty rock star. He's so LA though, so LA. But yeah, I love him to bits.
In what way?
He's just, I've got to be careful because I know he'll be watching. He is just a rock star. He's an absolute.
He's been there.
He's seen everything. It's like, dude, when I went to the Mets game with, you know, Ross Robinson, like all the crazy stuff, weird American, Swedish accent. But no, it's good. It came about in a very, you know, convenient way, I suppose.
Yeah.
You said that quite a lot of the record is about finding yourself. What did you find out about yourselves from writing and producing the album?
Interesting question.
We sacrificed an awful lot for this record. Yeah. Like, that's the one thing. Like, not time. Money, time, relationships,
stresses of relationships, definitely.
Everything, even family relationships. It's kind of, we worked so hard. I was putting in 48-hour days to do the record. Like, I just wasn't missing one night's sleep.
Nobody was allowed to talk to Drew for half a day at one point from mixing the album.
So I think
too much stress.
We've learnt the value of sacrifice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'd say that.
The value of sacrifice.
We've learned what we've got to put in to get out what we want, basically.
Another message that comes across quite strongly in the album is one of escape and kind of escaping the day-to-day. How much did life in Leeds influence the writing of the record?
Both. Yorkshire in general, to be honest, it's a fun place, but it's a dreary place. So
it's fun with the right people.
Yeah, it's fun with the right people. It's such a dreary place, and that in general, like, influenced us. Like, being like a northern kid, you kind of, to the rest of the country, we're from the wrong side of the tracks, but we believe that we're not from the wrong side of the tracks. We're, you know, the fighting underground
underdogs.
But that, from that perspective, like that feeling of rejection, but also triumph and moving forward is definitely influenced by Leeds and the kind of Sheffield and Doncaster and places like that where we're from, Huddersfield, Halifax,
Nottingham.
Yeah, Nottingham, just those places.
Yeah.
Is it hard to get recognition in Leeds, not sounding like a typical Leeds band that people associate with the city,
Leeds
like Pigeon Detectives, Kyle Chiefs, that kind of stuff?
It's to be honest, like the community is good in Leeds, but at the same time, it can be very, because it's a university town. So you can sort of hit times when it would be insane, like blow up, and then you'd play gigs when there'd be a quarter of that crowd there. It's just because of the way the university. When the kids are back at uni, then it's perfect. The scene's great. I mean, the bands that we know. To be honest, like a lot of the bands that we're good friends with, because originally I'm from Doncaster, in South Yorkshire, and a lot of the bands, like the community that we've got, is from around that area. Like bands like While She Sleeps.
Yeah, definitely.
Like really, really close friends of ours, like live in my house. But it's that community and that help from each other, like we'll always back each other up. That's the good side of the scene.
If anyone's got anything to make known, we all make it known, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
That's cool. I understand that you tracked the instruments in one of your houses, is that correct?
That's true.
My
house we currently live in.
Yeah, it's basically the house is my nana's old house. It's like this council house in Carcroft. And we got offered like this house because my mum owns it. You could do it here if you want. So we
weren't
set
living
up,
there at the time.
No, we weren't. We set up like the whole living room as a studio. There's a coal house out the back. We use that as a vocal booth. But it's just kind of cool, like these 4 northern lads just like crammed in a council house trying to put the world to rights. Put the world to rights. Yeah, it's good.
It's good to sit around the house now, sat watching TV, and you think, oh, that's where we recorded guitars on the album, or behind is where we recorded the drums and stuff like that. So it's nice, sentimental view to have on the album that it's come from something so organic. Like we all, like me, Ben, and Drew live together.
Yeah, it's not bullshit. Like none of the record, like the lyrics and stuff like that. It's definitely what we've lived. Like we've always done stuff the hard way, not by choice, but just the way it is. But we've always come through it. So. Yeah. Definitely.
And how did the neighbours react to a whole album's worth of instruments being tracked in a house?
They're old, dude.
They were all scared.
They're all so they didn't really say anything, but it was a fucking loud.
It was very fucking loud.
Loud few days.
Especially,
like the drums.
Like deadlines of the album getting close. Us recording vocals at like 11:30 at night, 12 at night, screaming into microphones.
Yeah. Like I always remember the deadline. Like the deadline was coming for when we needed to get our stuff off to Pelle. And we hadn't written vocals for one of the songs. So when we had one night, so we just sat there, like all me, Ben and Roo, just like, you go in the booth, just track something. We kept tracking until we had something we were happy with, but it was like last minute, wasn't it?
Very, very stressful, very loud as well. But hopefully they didn't mind too much.
I was going to say, did you take them around the free copy of the album by way of apology? But if they're all old, that probably would have scared them more.
Yeah, probably would have gone over their heads.
Bloody hell, what they're doing in there?
Yeah.
I understand that you went through lineup changes sort of in the year or so before writing the record. What effect did that have on you as a band and also the writing and recording process of the album?
Definitely had a profound change.
Yeah, like Roo was the last one to do. Like I'd known Roo for a very I think you played our very first gig as a band as a support band.
I was supporting in my old banders versus them for these guys' first gig.
And we kind of had like two of them. It wasn't necessarily, they're very, very good friends and they're still very good friends of ours, but they just weren't interested in the commitment and the time that you have to put into it, and so it just came to a head. But to be honest, like with the guitars and stuff, because I never used to play guitar in the band, but I used to, on every record, play the guitar. Yeah. Like, so I used to record the guitars anyway, so it was a very natural kind of step. I prefer it like this a lot better. Definitely. Like, now I'm watching videos back, like, I'm getting used to me being on guitar and stuff like that. I prefer it, I think.
Definitely. But with the writing process as well, like, I know you said before it was just you and Ben sort of going through melody ideas or writing chords or things like that. Like I've tried to put my input in as much as possible. With that, basically, I don't know. It's just sort of works now, doesn't it? We've all got a job.
Yeah. We slot into sort of places when we write, so it's not really changed. The people who have always written have always been in the band, so it's been good.
The video for the title track of the album you made with well-known photographer and video of young British bands Tom Barnes.
Yeah.
How was working with Tom?
Like Tom, I've known Tom for a long time. Like I nearly moved in with Tom 8 years ago. Like it's going way back, but it's always fun with Tom. He's the biggest, geekiest guy ever. Like he'll tell you the worst jokes, but in the funniest way. And it's always, he shouts at us still.
Yeah, he should.
Tells us off.
Around the back of the head.
Yeah, but you don't argue with him. But he's so talented at what he does. He's so very, very talented, and I've got a lot of time always with Tom.
And how did you feel about how the video turned out?
Good, yeah.
Very pleased, yeah. It was a weird place to film it. It was filmed in my best friend's dad's, like, he was in a garage in his warehouse kind of building. So it's very like I've sort of spent months and months in there just chilling about, doing whatever. And to see our video in there is pretty weird, but it came out great. Like, I had a few problems with lights and stuff on walls and wiring problems and stuff, but
it was freezing. It's a blast freeze place, so there's one room that's like with wind chill like -80.
Goes down to -40 standard with -80 wind chill.
Yeah, so we went in there for a little bit and came out for like Barbados.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's fun.
Nice. How important are the heavier post-hardcore elements of your sound to you as a band?
It's stuff like that I've grown up on, really, like the Fuse kind of side of stuff, and now the drive-in, and just like I've always kind of loved that stuff. It's not, I don't know, it is, of course it's important, it's part of the sound, definitely. Like it's one of the elements, like without it wouldn't be Summerlin, but it's equally as important as the rest of it, like the big harmonies and even the pop melodies.
It's something I've tried to drag out with the band a little bit more, with me joining and writing guitar parts. It's like I've always listened to sort of slightly harder stuff than pop and things like that, so trying to drag it out that way. Other than that, sorry, I can see a parking warden just milling about, so that's alright. It's totally off focus. Totally so focused.
It's about post-hardcore.
Yeah, about post-hardcore. Like, it's good to bring that side out. Like, a lot of people have come up to us and said, "Oh, I really noticed the change in the album. Really noticed the change in the sound." And we've had a real positive reaction to that. And hopefully, I think that's the way people are leaning towards these days.
Yeah.
They want something a bit more grittier to sink their teeth into, not sort of sugary kind of stuff. So hopefully it'll work.
That's cool. A lot of the time when British pop punk bands try and make an album, they tend to end up sounding Americanised.
Yeah.
Is that something you were wary of when you sat down and started writing and recording the album?
Yeah, well, when we kind of kicked off, like I was very conscious that every pop punk record sounded exactly the same. Like it's the same kick trigger, the same drum triggers, the same voice tune on everything.
Same guitar tones.
Guitar tones. And although it is a very, very good sound, and I'm not slagging that sound off, it's just I don't want to be a band that kind of sits in that, like a poor man's other band that's done it before me. I wanted to try something new at least.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not like we've consciously tried. I mean, we all grew up on American bands, so the influence us more than anything else, I believe. Like other than like Swedish punk for me, but it's
something you're inspired by, but you don't want to replicate.
Exactly. It was just we wanted to do something that sounded like us, and hopefully we're pushing that way. And whether we've discovered it yet, I don't know, but at least we're trying.
We'll hopefully find it.
Yeah.
Listening myself, listening to the record, I'd say there's starting to be some sort of parallels and similarities between yourselves and American bands like 4 Years Strong, Wonder Years, and the kind of the sound and also the raw social commentary and honesty in the lyrics.
Yeah.
What sort of bands were you listening to when you were writing the record?
All sorts.
So much stuff.
All sorts. From your pop punk, like was hanging out with the guys from Set Your Goals when we were writing it.
Set Your Goals, yeah.
I mean, bands like 4 Years and all they do. Newfound Glory, definitely an influence for us.
So like even other bands like Swellers, like Welsh band Straight Lines as well. We're listening to a lot of them. Old English band called Reuben as well. try to take a lot of their sort of heavy.
But even like stuff down to like we were listening to like the heavier side of Blur. And we listened to Blur, and we were listening to really heavy stuff. Like even Nirvana, like stuff like just. We were just trying to get that kind of influence from everything, the dirty side of that kind of music, mixed in with what swellers are. You know, just that kind of all set your goals. But
you can only really learn from what's come before you. So we took time to sort of go back and listen to all the records that we loved, like growing up as kids, like Offspring as well, Americana,
classic,
old records like that.
That's what we were influenced mostly, but like that, the vibe in general was like we want to create a record like what we grew up listening to. With that, like it's not about it being right; it's about the vibe being right.
It's about the groove of it.
So listening again to the album, so the overall message that you take away at the end of listening to it is one of not being afraid to chase your dreams and holding on to your goals. What dreams and goals are most important to Summerlin?
It's this band, pretty much the goals.
Yeah, definitely.
This band is I want to go on that Bob Dylan tour. The never-ending tour. That's definitely what I want to do in my life.
Yeah, the ambition is for us to make our music heard by as many people.
It's obviously your aim as big as you possibly can, but if I got to a stage where even I was living, meagerly in.
Yeah, we've always said this.
But where I'm on tour and I'm doing this every single night, then I would be.
If we're living comfortably and we're all right, then we'd do this for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people would say like I'd give my whole life for this kind of stuff, but there's got to be a point where responsibilities come into play. But if everything's sorted, we'll be out there until we die, basically. Just go out on the road and never come home.
And what are your plans following this headline tour?
We're just trying to sort booking out at the moment. So as soon as booking's sorted, I want to be like we said, hitting the road. So we just got to tour this album everywhere we possibly can. Like you said, Japan, Europe, England. Now, the US will be a while away yet, just for money reasons, really. But everything else is pretty much in reach.
It's pretty viable. Yeah. We just need to push hard this next coming year, tour it, make a lot of network connections, and see how far we can get, see how far around the world we can get.
Any big homecoming Leeds headline shows anytime soon?
Yeah. Hopefully, I think we're booking something we tried to book something for this tour, but it just crossed with like all the slam dunk preparation for the festival, so we found it quite hard. But after sort of Slam Dunk settled down, we're definitely going to do a big Leeds show. And
any chance of you making a sneaky appearance at Slam Dunk North, Leeds University?
Who knows? You probably know more than we do. We're very good friends with the promoter, but let's fingers crossed that we'll be in there.
I'm sure there'll be many people happy to see that. Finally, in one sentence, try and sum up the album and why Summerlin fans should go out there and spend their money on it.
One sentence.
Can be a long sentence, but one sentence.
Sentence.
This album is for everybody who chases dreams.
And told they couldn't do something.
Yeah, and told they couldn't do something. And even if they're not getting there right now, it's about keep on trucking.
Can't have that. Surely.
Keep on trucking. Now I'm doing it.
A reason why someone kids could go out and is basically give our album a chance. Local music, UK music is a dwindling thing. CD sales, record sales, blah blah. People need to go out and support music. Go out to shows, even if they download our album, spread it between all their friends. At least come out to a show, buy a T-shirt, show some support. Other than giving us a chance and sort of supporting UK music, it's purely up to them.
Yeah, so that's more than one sentence.
Yeah, it is. It's more like a paragraph.
It was more than one sentence, but it was one strong thought.
Yeah,
strong
good,
point. That's what I was thinking.
Good.
That's right. Thanks for your time, gents. NoisenewsUK, Summerlin at Manchester St. Hollow.
Thank you.